I got my real estate license when I was 20 years old, and 1 year later, I still haven't sold a house. And honestly, it's one of the most humbling things that could have happened to me. And give me until the end of the video to explain why. So why am I so eager to build something, someone might be asking? Well, growing up, money wasn't something we had a lot of, right? Like, we were never like no Christmas presents and stealing food poor, but we were definitely surviving more than we were living a lot of the time. And if we wanted something, really after the age of 9, kind of had to save up for it ourselves and get it ourselves. And also just vacations weren't really a thing. Like, I think we had a few maybe, but not many. My parents got divorced and my brothers and I moved out with our mom, and that's when I started working at my grandparents' bar at the ripe old age of 9. I would do the dishes on Wednesdays for steak night they had there, and then I would swamp the bars in the mornings on the weekends, and I didn't have school. And by the time I turned 20, I'd already been in the workforce for about a decade. And because of these experiences that I had, I just learned that no one was gonna come to make my life better for me or just improve my future for me. And that was definitely reinforced after the passing of my father as well. And like, I don't know, I guess I just had a whole lot of learning condensed into like a 3-year time span. And it was also reinforced when I started watching my friends get their first jobs when I was around like 16 or 17. I think 15 in some cases, but and just watching them go through the same thing I experienced when I was just at a young age, which is they were just working jobs they didn't enjoy just to afford things they wanted, or in some cases things they needed. For one semester, I kept asking myself a question. Like, I just started asking myself a question that I couldn't ignore, and it was, if I know this isn't the life I want, like going through college, because in doing all the degrees and crap like that, like, why would I spend 4 more years of my life and going into a lot of debt preparing for it? And that kind of led me back to like my fascination with business, because I've been fascinated with business since I was about 12 years old. I've tried YouTube channels, side hustles, and anything that felt like building something of my own. I mean, I've never really been chasing like, I don't know, I guess like fancy luxury shit or anything like that, but I've just always wanted the freedom to decide what my life looked like. Then one day I was 19, working with my cousin doing drywall out in like northwestern Montana, up in the lake areas. And he shorted me and my brother about $1,000 on a paycheck. And actually that was the whole paycheck. And that was kind of my breaking point, because I really just didn't feel like I had much to show for my entire efforts up until that point in life. What I did feel I had, though, was a very clear picture of what I didn't want in life, and a tougher mindset to help me get through other shit. And a clear picture of the skills I needed to become someone, I guess, that could do the things I want to do in life. Maybe it was working so young, maybe it was the jobs I had, maybe it was just being able to watch other kids not have to have as much responsibility. Honestly, it's probably a combination of all of it. All I know is it just gave me something people my age didn't have at the time, which is a very clear understanding of what I didn't want my life to look like in the future, and 10 years of work experience by the time I was 20. The realization that I really liked business, like, it didn't happen overnight. Like, it had slowly been building since I was about 12 years old. And looking back, I really just think I was looking for some semblance of control over my future at the time. And, you know, back then it started with YouTube. I did a lot of gaming videos. I did Pokemon pack openings back then, like before, like, it was basically just like scalpers and like all the prices went up and crap like that. And I did a lot of challenge videos too. Like, honestly, like, you name it, I tried it. And I spent a good year or two like taking it pretty seriously, just really hoping one of the channels would take off and just turn into something. And kind of around that time, I was 15 and I found Alex Hormozi. And that just completely changed the way I thought about business. I found myself binging every episode of The Game. I read his books, and all around I just consumed an unbelievable amount of business content. I just love the idea that you could build your own life through business and not have to rely on someone else handing it to you. And eventually, I got my real estate license because of a lot of this, and I really felt like I was on top of the world after that. I thought I had finally figured it out. I had the books, I had the mindset, I had the license, and I honestly thought the business would just work. And around the same time, I also decided that if I was serious about building a better life, then I needed to start taking care of myself too. And I started going to the gym consistently and tracking everything I ate, because I grew up a pretty, like, I wouldn't say obese, but I was definitely on the large side. I think I was on the cusp at one point, but it's neither here nor there, just I guess on the chubbier side, right? and tracking everything I ate, and I lost about 15 pounds of fat. And for the first time, I was proving to myself that I can actually change through discipline instead of just talking about it, which I feel like a lot of people do, especially coming out of high school. Like, it's just talk. And looking back on it, it's okay to laugh because I laugh about it now too sometimes. I thought I had all the pieces figured out. But the harsh reality is that I had confused knowledge with experience. I knew a lot about business, but I didn't know anything about building one. Reading about sales isn't the same as making sales. Reading about being an entrepreneur doesn't make you an entrepreneur. And at some point you have to like stop taking in as much knowledge as you are. I mean, don't stop taking in knowledge because then you just stop learning, right? But you have to start getting the reps in. Like, you have to, and like that's kind of the hard realization that I had to come to. And I hope you, the viewer, don't make the same mistake or just come to your realization sooner. The accumulation of kind of my life and everything I've just said is kind of what has led me to real estate. And so I chose to get into real estate because after working for so many years, I realized that even though every job I had paid a little bit more, it never felt like I was making any real progress financially. Eventually I figured out why. It wasn't because I wasn't working hard enough. I gotta read this off the page because this is a little wordy. There was a ceiling on what the skills I was using could earn in the jobs I had. I wanted to build skills where the better I became, the more opportunity I had to increase my income. That idea really appealed to me because I was already really fascinated with business. And business is kind of the same, it's just more on your own, I would say. And looking back on it, I actually had a pretty unique set of skills for where I was at in my life. I'd painted houses, I'd hung and finished drywall, I'd helped build an entire house from laying like the concrete foundation to handing the owners their keys pretty much. And I'd experimented with YouTube and video content creation and editing. And I also spent like 3 years learning about business. Real estate really just felt like the place where all of those could kind of melt together into an accumulation of something that could maybe work out, right? And I had been thinking about getting into it for a bit because my grandmother, who is also a real estate agent down in Sanders County in Montana, she really encouraged me to do so. And what made me know this was the right decision is when I was getting into it, it was just how everyone explained the business to me. It was, as they said, that this business is not transactional, it's relational, that was really good to hear because that's the way I want to do business. Because if someone only buys a house from me because I talked them into buying a house, then I think I failed them. Like, I want people to work with me because they trust me, I educated them, and because I genuinely helped them make a good decision. Like, and I think that's the way business should be, because I know I just feel like everyone gets a bad rap in business, but it's because business isn't done the right way. It's just because everyone wants to be, I don't know, an online guru or make a cash grab, or I don't know, even like crypto rug pulls. Like, I don't know if that's even that similar. I mean, I don't know too much about that crap, right? But like, it's just like the same thing. Everyone just out to make a quick buck, and I just don't think that's the way business is supposed to be done. It scared me when I first started because if I didn't sell a house, then I wouldn't get paid, and it still scares me to this day. It still scares me to this day because that's the reality. But for the first time, I felt like I got to choose what I did, and I did not choose a safe option. So sorry if you can hear the guy outside blaring his music. He just pulled up. They're like working across the street, but it's fucking uncalled for, bro. But anyways, the reality of getting into real estate was a little different. Let me tell you, because I thought getting my real estate license was the finish line. It turns out it was very much the starting line. So let me set the scene for you guys. It's the end of April when I passed my second test for real estate because I didn't pass my first test when I took them on my birthday. It was a stressful time period right then, and got more time to study. Came back to them on April, passed, and I was feeling on top of the world. The same week I had finished moving back to my parents in Anaconda temporarily because I knew I wanted to practice in the area. I did research on the brokers in the area and found one I liked. Got my stuff set up with them and got licensed about a month after my tests. I got my business cards, I got my name tag, and I got my shirt set up with Century 21. And I started telling a lot of people and making content about it. I should probably still tell more people. I haven't told enough people. That's definitely what it is. I was so confident in myself and abilities. I was like, I'm never gonna have to work another 9-to-5 or part-time job again. In my mind, I had made it without doing jack shit. Boy, was I wrong. In the last year, which is about how long I've been licensed, I've gotten almost no calls, one client, no commission checks. No one really cared that I was licensed. This is when the realization hit. This is when the realization hit me in about March. I knew I needed to work on changing because it's when the realization hit me that I had confused knowledge for experience. I had studied all the contracts for the listing and buying side of being a real estate agent, but I didn't know how to get someone to trust me or to sign a contract with me. I know a lot of marketing theory, like how to run ads, like how to do a lot of that stuff, but I'm still learning to generate leads, as it turns out, because I haven't got any yet. So knowledge and experience are not the same thing. I still work a full-time job that fits my schedule and allows me to build my business on the side. And I really get the feeling that all the big entrepreneurs say is like, you really get to a point where like, you know just enough where you figure out just how much you don't know. And it's kind of insane. And I felt dumb posting some of the content over on Instagram starting out. And that's simply because I was just really green to it. Like I haven't put in enough reps for it to like normalize it yet. And some of the stuff I still feel uneasy posting about kind of more in my personal life. And that's kind of something I hope to achieve with this video, is to kind of break that barrier down a little bit and just be able to be a little bit more vulnerable, I guess. And I just realized now that I'm learning two things: all the contracts and ins and outs of being a good realtor, and how to generate business for it. Probably by the time this video out, I will have started my cold calling ventures, because I will be working on doing an entire, I gotta work on an entire system to build out to work on cold calling, because I want to start working on another form of lead generation, because I think that, I don't know, the more you do, just the more bites you can get, right? Therefore, two of the key lessons I've learned this year is that you can prepare for anything endlessly, but doing the thing is actually what teaches you most. It's like a good video game leveling system. You actually learn by doing things. And being good at your profession and being good at business are two different things. And I'm 21, so I've learned a lot more about being financially literate and just a whole lot of things this year. Let me know if you would like a video on that, because I would be down to make one. But this last year's had its ups and downs. But I think I've learned more in this year than any other year, and I hope I could always say that. This wasn't really a video about real estate. However, all my info is in the description if you're curious. However, I just wanted to make a video kind of about my journey and give you guys a little bit more in depth about me. Like, I know I'm young, but it is kind of a dense story. And I just wanted to give you guys a more in-depth kind of view as to why I became a real estate agent, why I'm kind of passionate about building a business and working on myself and things like that. And if you guys like this shit, let me know. I'd be happy to make more of it. I really would be. Like, this has kind of been a fun video to make. Kiwi, you need to calm down, okay? It's okay. I know you hear them dogs outside. It's okay. But who knows? Maybe next year I'll be making this video after my first sale, or shit, maybe even after my 10th. Damn, wouldn't that be awesome? That would be. But either way, I'll be documenting it. And thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.